In the vast, great thousand-world heavenly flames were not merely fire. They were authority, inheritance, and power, capable of reshaping destiny. Countless supreme realm experts had fought, bled, and died for a single spark of such flames. Yet on this day before the sixth profound platform, a young man named Xiaoyan calmly spoke a request that shook the entire sixth profound sect. "Senior, I want the sixth profound heavenly flame." What followed was not a refusal, but a condition that would ignite another storm of blood and fire across the western Dao continent. Xiaoyan asked Liu Beidao for the sixth profound heavenly flame, but he did not expect that the other party's words would cause a violent shock in his heart. If you enjoy my way of explaining and storytelling, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really motivates me to keep creating. Continuing from the previous chapter, Xiaoyan, my young friend Liu Beidao, spoke slowly, his voice suddenly turning solemn. "Do you know that Luo Tianshan is not merely a name? He is the strongest expert of the Luo God Clan in the present era, and also the name of the former clan leader." The words fell like a heavy stone into still water. "How did you come to know of him?" Liu Beidao asked, his gaze locking onto Xiaoyan, a trace of astonishment flickering in his eyes. For a brief moment, Xiaoyan hesitated. Then, with a calm breath, he began recounting everything. His journey to Luoli Mountain, his encounter with the mysterious elderly man, and the inexplicable spiritual power assimilation that followed. As the story unfolded, the disbelief on Liu Beidao's face grew deeper and deeper. When Xiaoyan finally finished, Liu Beidao remained silent for several breaths, as though trying to suppress the shock surging in his heart. "Your luck," he finally said, exhaling slowly, "is simply unbelievable." He lifted his head and looked at Xiaoyan with complicated emotions. "There are countless lower planes in existence. Every year, tens of thousands of cultivators break free from their shackles and step into the great thousand world. The Luo God Clan alone receives at least 1,000 such newcomers annually." Liu Beidao's voice was steady, yet every word carried weight. But precisely because of these overwhelming numbers, the upper echelons of the Luo God Clan rarely pay them personal attention, let alone someone as elusive and unfathomable as the former clan leader himself, Luo Tianshan. He paused, then looked straight into Xiaoyan's eyes. "Yet you not only drew his attention, he even personally assisted you in undergoing spiritual power assimilation." Liu Beidao shook his head slowly, as if still finding it difficult to believe. "Such an occurrence has been exceedingly rare for several hundred years." Those words struck Xiaoyan like a thunderclap. Only now did he truly understand what kind of existence the elderly man he had met that day truly was. The casual guidance, the calm demeanor, the effortless control over power, all of it suddenly carried an entirely different meaning. He had thought it was chance, but now he realized it was a favor bestowed by a being standing at the very peak of the great thousand world. "Right." Xiaoyan finally spoke, his voice low yet firm, as a new wave of resolve quietly ignited within his heart. Xiaoyan suddenly recalled something. A flicker of hesitation passed through his eyes before he looked up at Liu Beidao. "I have an impertinent request," he said after a brief pause. "Previously Senior once displayed a flame technique. I hope to witness it once again." Those words were spoken calmly, yet beneath that calm lay an unmistakable intensity. Earlier above Western Dao City, Liu Beidao had unleashed a six-colored flame. At the time, Xiaoyan had felt his soul tremble. That flame possessed an overwhelming aura, one that was in no way inferior to the purifying demonic lotus flame, and perhaps not even weaker than the void-swallowing flame. If placed upon the 100 million flame rankings, its position would undoubtedly lie within the top 300. Such a flame was not something one could simply forget. Hearing Xiaoyan's request, Liu Beidao fell silent. For a brief moment, the surrounding air seemed to grow still. Then, without further explanation, Liu Beidao waved his hand lightly. "Come with me to the sixth profound platform." As his words fell, his figure blurred and vanished from the heavenly pavilion, leaving behind only rippling spatial fluctuations. Xiaoyan immediately followed. The two figures streaked across the sky like meteors. After flying for roughly half a minute, a vast region nestled deep within a mountain range came into view. Rolling peaks stretched endlessly in all directions, their outlines shrouded in mist. At the very center of this region stood an enormous stone platform plaza, ancient and imposing, as if it had borne witness to countless trials and battles. Liu Beidao and Xiao Yan descended from the sky, their figures slowly settling upon the plaza. The instant they landed, sharp whistling sounds tore through the air from all directions. Xiaoyan lifted his head and looked around. From the distant horizons, numerous figures were rapidly approaching their auras, powerful and steady. One by one, they halted in mid-air around the stone platform, forming a vast encirclement. Their gazes converged silently upon the plaza below, and upon Xiaoyan standing at its center. "Ha ha, Xiaoyan, do not mind them. They are all disciples of the Six Profound Sect," Liu Beidao explained with a smile. Kyoga nodded. At that moment, a figure flew swiftly from the horizon, arriving on the stone platform after several instant movements. It was Liu Tianhuang, Liu Beidao's grandson. "I recall that earlier above Western Dao City, you mentioned wanting to see something of mine." Liu Tianhuang walked toward Xiaoyan with a smile. He flicked his finger and a streak of six-colored light shot out, hovering in mid-air. It rapidly expanded, transforming into a six-colored fire dragon over 100 zhang long. "I believe that the most precious thing I possess is this." Before he could finish speaking, Liu Beidao suddenly let out a low chuckle, his voice carrying a hint of disdain. "Huff." He glanced sideways at Liu Tianhuang, then turned his gaze back to Xiaoyan. "What Xiaoyan wishes to see is not your insignificant little flame." The words were calm, yet they carried unquestionable authority. Liu Beidao stepped forward. In that instant, the aura around him exploded. Boundless, six-colored flames surged forth from his body like a raging tide, roaring as they burst into the open sky. In the blink of an eye, the flames condensed, forming a towering pillar of fire that shot straight into the heavens, as if attempting to pierce the sky itself. The sky and earth trembled. At first, the world was drowned in crimson light as though bathed in blood and fire. Then the crimson faded, giving way to a vast azure blue, cool and profound, yet equally terrifying. Moments later, purple, yellow, milky white and cyan intertwined, their colors weaving together like divine threads of destruction. The six-colored flames turned the entire world into a scene of breathtaking magnificence. It was beautiful, so beautiful that it felt unreal. Yet anyone with even the slightest perception knew, beneath that dazzling splendor lay a force capable of annihilating heaven and earth, a power that could reduce continents to ashes and erase lives without leaving a trace. "This," Liu Beidao's voice rang out beneath the blazing sky, "is the Six Profound Heavenly Flame." He paused briefly, then looked toward Xiaoyan. "And it is also the very object that interests you the most within the Six Profound Sect." The six-colored flames continued to surge overhead, spreading across the heavens like an endless inferno. 10 years ago, Liu Beidao said slowly, "I participated in a decisive battle alongside the Luo God Clan against the Blood God Clan. At that time, the six-colored flames had spread across the sky like a boundless sea of fire, engulfing the battlefield and illuminating the heavens. Standing beneath the flames, Liu Beidao fixed his gaze on Xiaoyan, his expression gradually turning solemn. At that time, the Blood God Clan launched its largest invasion of the Luo God Clan in 10 years. They mobilized vast numbers of experts, dividing their forces into 8 separate routes, and advanced with overwhelming momentum. Within a single month, nearly 100 outer continents of the Luo God Clan fell. This directly enraged one individual, Luo Tianwang, the Luo God Clan's clan leader at the time, and the son of the retired Luo Tianshen. Facing the invasion, Luo Tianwang issued a command from the Luo God main city, offering enormous rewards to summon nearly half of all Supreme Realm experts. With himself as the leader, he divided them into 8 squads to counter the Blood God Clan. I was among those who answered the call, joining dozens of others to form one such squad, and I served as its deputy commander. Before we launched the counter-offensive, the former Luo God Clan leader, Luo Tianshen, appeared before us in the form of a supreme clone and bestowed a flame upon our squad leader. The sixth profound heavenly flame ranked 137th on the 100 million flame rankings. We then swiftly arrived at the border region of the Western Dao continent, where we completely annihilated the enemy forces. Because the primary commander suffered fatal injuries during the battle, he ultimately entrusted the sixth profound heavenly flame, which Luo Tianshen had granted him, directly to me. After the war, I did not leave. Instead, I chose to settle on the Western Dao continent and established the sixth profound sect, naming it after the sixth profound heavenly flame. My hope was to cultivate outstanding disciples to protect this borderland of the Luo God Clan. Liu Beidao's narration filled Xiaoyan with deep respect. An elder who had devoted himself so wholeheartedly to the Luo God Clan was unquestionably worthy of the highest admiration. Senior Liu Beidao, this junior has a request. May I ask it? Xiaoyan clasped his hands respectfully. Haha, you brat. I actually guessed your intentions long ago. Liu Beidao laughed heartily. You want the sixth profound heavenly flame, don't you? Xiaoyan froze briefly. He did indeed long for the sixth profound heavenly flame, but if the sixth profound sect were unwilling to part with it, he would not force the matter and would simply accept it as a matter of fate. However, Liu Beidao's next words caused Xiaoyan's heart to tremble. Yes. Seeing Xiaoyan's astonished expression, Liu Beidao revealed a sly smile. But I wish to discuss certain conditions. What conditions? Xiaoyan felt a surge of joy. Although we repelled the Blood God Clan's large-scale invasion back then, their small-scale harassment has never ceased, leaving the Western Dao continent in chaos for the past 10 years. In particular, the northwestern region of the Western Dao continent has recently seen the establishment of a faction under the Blood God Clan. Its leader is a middle-aged man named Huang Yunpo. He is already a 7th grade supreme. Liu Beidao continued, his tone steady yet heavy, and with his methods, he can dominate even among experts of the same rank. As his words fell, Liu Beidao's gaze slowly settled on Xiaoyan. That gaze was sharp, as if attempting to peer through Xiaoyan's body and soul alike. I can hand the sixth profound heavenly flame to you, he said calmly. But in return, you must help me defeat Huang Yunpo. The surrounding space fell silent. All eyes seemed to converge upon Xiaoyan, waiting for his response. Hearing this, Xiaoyan merely smiled faintly. There was no surprise in his expression, no hesitation, as though he had long since anticipated these words. He stepped forward. In that instant, his spiritual power surged forth without restraint, roaring like a raging torrent. The pressure alone caused the surrounding air to distort violently. The next moment, the flames within Xiaoyan's body erupted. One after another, they condensed into 22 blazing chains of fire, each one seething with terrifying heat and destructive intent. The chains shot into the sky, coiling around the colossal fire dragon with unstoppable force, binding it firmly in place. The scene was both magnificent and terrifying. Seeing this, Liu Beidao did not show the slightest trace of alarm. Instead, a calm smile appeared on his face. Without any hesitation, he directly severed his connection with the sixth profound heavenly flame. For at that moment, he heard Xiaoyan's voice, equally calm, equally resolute. Deal. Xiaoyan raised his head, his gaze unwavering. 1 month from now, he said slowly, I will bring you Huang Yunpo's head. That's all for today's content. See you in the next part. Support me by becoming a member. It will give me more motivation. Thank you so much.